All right, everybody, welcome back to the KSR YouTube channel. We are almost to the Freedom Factory for the Danger Ranger 9000 and the Ultima 800, 900, Ultima 800. I don't know what it's.
600?
I don't know what it is, but yours truly will be in the Ultima race, and we'll show you the car here in just a little bit. And we're actually down even a day early because this guy needs all the practice he can get.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You know, I'm not a driver like Kevin.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
that's right.
Kevin on a circle track, Kevin is a better driver than me, right? But my truck is so much better than his
Okay.
that's gonna overcome it, and then he's gonna train me tonight to beat him tomorrow.
Okay.
So that's what's gonna happen. I might even stick you in the truck. You know,
okay.
my own personal stig.
So I gotta test your truck.
Yeah.
So that you can hopefully beat me.
So I can see how fast it is, and then now I know the potential of the truck.
Okay. Well, I guess let's get to the track and see who we can find at the racetrack, because I know some people that are at the racetrack that might surprise you guys, and see if we can get Eddie on the track. We're actually a little late. They're already running. So
yeah, arrival is 4:35.
Yeah.
We were supposed to be there at 3. That was our goal.
But we had to go pick up somebody's transmission from FTI in DeLand. So
well, we also had to drop off the Blazer trans. That's the real reason we went. I just happened to have a trans there too.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Okay.
so that was the plan.
All right, I should stop filming and driving. So see you at the track. All right, we have made it to the racetrack and already getting unloaded. Eddie's unloading his deal, and look at this guy over here snooping.
I made it. Look at this fancy new trailer you guys got.
It's not new, it's just new to us.
You guys waiting to get luxury
And it
cars
got,
gone?
yeah. Well, see, after you left, we could afford it. So.
Oh, that's what it was. It was all my mistakes.
But hey, good to see you, Ricky.
Yeah, good seeing you.
And Ricky's right over there in that truck, which is funny. That's Drew's old truck.
Yep.
And then this is your old truck.
This is my old truck.
So, and Eddie's old truck is over there somewhere. So,
Physical truck.
Just passing these trucks around.
yeah. And probably after tonight, they all may be for sale. So,
Yeah,
you know,
maybe.
hit us up because we might sell you a Ranger. Who knows?
Comes with a spare tranny.
A what?
A spare transmission.
Oh, okay. Just had to get you to clarify that
Yeah,
for a second.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could.
Whoa.
whoa, I'm
Sorry.
not.
Y'all not into that?
Okay. Well, I'm gonna get mine out and start suiting up so we can go practice.
Are you practicing?
Actually, no, I'm gonna watch you practice first. See if I even need to unload my junk.
Oh, you will.
It's already been going.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what happened
Constant.
last race. What happened last race? I don't think you finished. I don't think you definitely. You didn't even race last race. I think I'm the only one who finished. I think I even came home. I think I came home with a check last year.
You did.
I
You did.
Didn't I?
You
I've been
did.
thinking about this moment for the last 6 months. Right here, I've been thinking about this. All right? You are absolutely done
going
for.
down.
Okay?
Are you getting in on the bet?
What's the bet?
So we have $50 whoever finishes higher, $50 who qualifies higher, and then if I lap him under green flag conditions, another $100. If he laps me under green flag conditions.
I'll hop in on that, but
$100.
not on the qualifying.
Oh,
Because you
okay.
guys
Because he's slow. Because he sucks.
He called me real confident with someone. This truck has never ran on the
Yeah,
track.
it has not run on the track.
And you know what? That's a good thing. Okay? These trucks wear out. All right? That truck has so many miles on it.
Yeah,
Okay?
because it's proven.
No.
Proven by time.
Oh.
No.
Proven
No.
race.
That just means
That's a lean, mean racing machine right there.
You're right about lean. It's real lean. 16 to 1 lean.
Hey, we're gonna get to talk about my tune, all right?
All right, well, we're going to probably follow Eddie around for the first couple of laps, at least watch him, and from outside the track, and then we'll see what he did on Race Monitor, his lap times. Maybe we'll put a camera in, I don't know. I brought some cameras, but we're kind of rushing already, and I need to get mine unloaded, so if I need to go, I can go. All right. All right, so one more surprise for everybody, because I hinted that there would be some people here that you were going to know. Look who we dragged down from Canada. What? No way. How'd you make it down here? Good.
Flew for a few days.
Nice.
I've been traveling for a few days, and I appreciate you lining all this up for me.
Yep, not a problem at all. It's good to know people. It's good to know people that work here at the track. So, you know, kind of called in a favor for Sean. I know he likes doing this stuff, and
I love it.
so we got him in one of the track trucks. So it'll be a 3-liter truck. So the cool thing about these Ranger races, what they're developing into, there's kind of like a group of 4-cylinder trucks running together, group of 3-cylinder trucks all running together. So Sean will be in one of the 3-cylinder race trucks, and then maybe if we get him hooked enough, we can get him into a 4-cylinder truck. So
just keep one down here.
yeah, there you go. Well,
well,
who knows? So the tan truck is Drew that used to work for me. I don't know if you met Drew.
I didn't mean
Eddie sold one of his trucks. It's down the pits, and then this actually was Ricky's truck, who bought Drew's truck.
Okay.
We just keep passing trucks all around.
You guys
So
got lots of trucks here.
we got a few trucks here that are kind of KSR associated. So we're gonna get prepped up, go watch Eddie run, and then maybe we'll see if we can help Sean out too, get him up to speed. So here we go. That's looking a little better. So he's got his old tires on right now. He's got a fresh set in the trailer. Sean, we got you a truck.
Yeah, number 24 Real Street.
That's right.
Going Ford Ranger race.
And this one's got a 4-liter.
It does. That was a surprise. I thought I was going to be in a 3-liter. But
I did too. So this one is one of the early model 3-liter trucks. It's actually, I guess the track bought it from the guys from Real Street or whatever, and it's become one of the track trucks. So we're gonna take Sean down to the pits, let him get acclimated with his truck, maybe send him out for a practice. And there's not a lot of camber on that one. So if we can stand it, we might, oh, wait a second. What? Oh, this is the I-beam front suspension. Nope, you don't get camber.
oh, dang.
I forgot this was the 4-wheel drive stuff. But hey, you're here to have a good
I'm
time.
here to have a good time.
There you go.
As long as it runs, it'll get me a few laps. I'm happy to be here.
All right. Well, shoot. Let's see if we can get you out there for some practice.
Sounds good.
Woo! Oh, Eddie. Didn't see him. I'll definitely say awareness of what's going on around you is big. Hopefully Eddie follows him. There you go, Eddie. Eddie still turned in early. All right, well, I'm suited up. We'll go try out and scuff in some tires, take a few laps. Sean, I think, is going to follow me a little bit. Eddie may follow me a little bit. I didn't put a camera in the truck because we're kind of rushing and stuff, so I'm just going to go make some laps, and maybe if anything exciting happens, Sean will get it on video, so I guess we'll see. You went your P3?
Yeah. 18.39. Basically 18.4.
Okay. Cool.
Rick, I lapped you in practice, boy.
Rick needs a part.
You broke it? Oh, I went into
Well,
the
yeah,
wall.
he broke it. Maybe, or the wall broke it. One of the
Went into
two.
the wall? You moron! hey, as soon as I set up, he's the only person I know that will go into a wall going multiple tenths off pace. I ran an 18.8.
Okay.
Damn. Drew ran an 18.2. How does that make you feel? The wall came out and bit me, okay?
Oh, yeah.
The wall came out.
Well, like you heard me say, I let my tires get way too hot, and she wasn't very happy. But you know, we'll see. See if we can go back out again, let the tires cool back off, and then go try again.
It's gonna be hard. I'm fired up right now.
All right, so we just ran the second practice session for me, and like these guys ran well.
right,
Ricky
so
hit the wall previous session.
It's good though. Lickety split.
All
Swapped
fixed?
it in there.
Where'd you find extra parts,
Master
huh?
mechanic right here.
Where'd you
I
find?
just-
Where'd you find some extra parts from?
From the amazing KSR Performance. Look them up online. Free birds right here.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Whoa, not free.
Not free. Sorry. First
Yeah.
plug. Yeah, look them up.
There you go.
Terrible advertising skills. Horrible.
My
All right.
So let's
what
look at
what did we
this.
run last lap, Eddie?
First of all, we're gonna look at Ricky. All right, 18.8, right? Not bad. Horrible for hitting a wall. You should never hit a wall doing
I mean,
18.8.
But I mean, I also hit a
But
wall. and
You're
still
also
ran 18.
P5. Okay, that's
But
not
P5
terrible.
is good.
Not
P5
terrible.
is good. Tom Zimmerman, he's the guy that bought my old truck,
Okay.
18.5.
So basically, the top 4 of the top 5 trucks have something to do with KSR.
Yeah, pretty much. Because all the go fast like stuff. That
The only
we
one
did
that's
for
the
them.
outlier is JH, and I
Yeah.
mean JH is bad fast.
Yeah. So I ran an 18.33, JH ran an 18.17, and Kevin with a 17.89.
That's actually crazy.
Track
That's-
record, baby.
That's
That is
fast.
track record.
That's the second 17-second
You beat
Ranger
your
lap.
own.
Actually, click on it and see how many 17s I ran.
Just one.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah.
So,
Just 117.
so Kevin has brand new tires.
I did.
I have, my tires are over probably a year and a half old, and I have like 2 races and 3 practice sessions, like 3 practice nights. But what do we have over here?
Well, I mean, those were mine too. Okay, mine were
That's
old.
just your excuse, too.
That's what we got right here. Brand
They're
spanking
not
new.
mounted on the rim, bud.
Oh, that smells like victory right here.
All
And
right.
that tire need a room.
Maybe.
You're gonna take them home and sleep in them tonight, ain't you?
Maybe. Maybe.
All right. So Sean got a few laps in his truck, and it started overheating. We forgot to look for the cooling fan switch, so you know, not being familiar with a new truck. But that'll be it for tonight. Sean, did you have fun?
Oh, of course.
There you go.
It's always fun when you're on track.
That's right.
And in Florida
That's true.
with friends.
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah.
Better than hanging out at home alone. Which was what I was gonna do.
That's true. Oh yeah, your kids are in Whitefer or somewhere, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're on
they're
some
driving
trip.
across Canada right now. So.
Nice. Cool. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. See you back tomorrow. Right, everybody. Well, we are back Saturday, race day, and a little bit of a surprise, which I probably put this in the thumbnail, although I'm not sure if yeah, we'll see how it worked out in the thumbnail or not. But check this thing out. That's an Ultima. And that means we're running the Ultima race tonight. So Joe here, which if you saw the last race, he had the Kinetic car. Well, now he's got the 16 Hooters car and also the 78 KSR car, which if you guys don't know, this is like a Martin Truex Jr. throwback scheme. He ran the 78 with the Bass Pro Shops, and it's pretty awesome.
That is one sharp looking hot rod right there.
That's right. So huge thanks to Joe for getting this all set up.
Yep.
And your Agent Automotive Group, which you're based out of what, Tennessee?
Tennessee, Mount Juliet.
Okay, so anybody needs to see Joe for a car, y'all look him up.
Yep.
And see Agent Auto Group there on all the front bumpers. But
Hopefully we get some cars in the top 10 or top 5 or something.
that's what we're gonna try. And they're all pretty good ones, right?
Yes.
Like they're all the
they're
good.
all low mileage, 6-speed, V6 cars.
Heck yeah.
So they should last.
Well, it's gonna be pure chaos out there, I think is the right word. So we're gonna see just what shakes down with this. I watched the last one and had a great time watching it, and now I get to be in it.
That's right.
So
Good luck to us all, I guess.
yeah, that's right. Good luck to the whole Agent Group Automotive team.
Yeah.
So, well, now it's time for me to go check in my Ranger. See if we can get that in the show too. Which I practiced yesterday, and I had 3/10 on even JH. So we'll see if JH was sandbagging in here at all. But
Is JH running Ultima?
I would assume so.
Okay.
Yeah. If there's something here, JH usually tries to get in it. So it's gonna be a fun, wild race. Stay tuned and see what happens. All right, so I doctored up Eddie's truck. This is his first time seeing his. What you think of them numbers?
Oh, 99.
That's right.
That looks sick.
Yeah. Got your name above the door, even.
Yo. Dude! That's not my name!
I left you room to fix it, so you're welcome.
I wasn't even gonna do that.
Well, you got it, just because that had to be the way it was. So you've got one more other thing too that you might want to check out.
No, I'm leaving that. I like that.
The numbers definitely make it pop.
Yeah.
So I was looking at it, and I think black hood, and then do a white pinstripe to separate the black hood and the white
Okay.
and the blue.
Okay. Maybe.
After this race.
Yeah.
You know.
Right now, I gotta put my new tires on.
Oh yeah. See if you can go a little faster.
Yeah. Faster than you.
Okay. Hopefully that's going that way and not this way. But I'm gonna probably skip at least the first couple of practices because there's no sense in going and wearing out my tires anymore after I know what it'll run from what I ran yesterday. Hey, what it's a little warm out here. Wasn't expecting it to be quite this hot, but here's what it is. Time to go racing. What are you doing?
What do you mean, what am I doing? My hand's shaking. I've had too much caffeine today.
Still slow. Man, it's almost like I knew that you were going to want to do that, and I did it for you.
This is the last time that I announce. There's a white Dodge Ram.
Somebody's getting in trouble.
Like everybody else.
It's not
Oh, I see it right there.
2 minutes to move it, or your car is going to start dead last in the Enduro.
Oh, shoot.
250 to move it, or your car will start dead last in the Enduro.
Mr. White Ram, you're in trouble, buddy.
I was gonna say it might be Ricky, but it's definitely not Ricky.
Yeah, it's not Ricky's white truck, that's for sure.
Not Ricky. Ricky's white ram.
All right, well, I'm sitting out practice, like I said earlier, to save my tires. And it's kind of raining, so probably not going to learn a lot anyway. He's scraping the front end on his truck. Yeah, I guess. Oh, I need to put cameras in my truck, too. Should probably do that. Whoa, bouncy, bouncy. Oh, easy, Sean. Got a little loose, scared him. What are you putting all these stickers on for?
Because if I can't be fast, I gotta look fast. You know, and
Oh,
stickers add horsepower, and I need it.
gotcha. I see how it is. Got that same Excel engineering on all of them, don't you?
Yeah.
Daddy's business.
My dad's company. He helped me get here, so you know, got a rep.
Got a rep,
You
okay.
know? And you helped me get here too.
Yeah.
My boy Kayvon Smith helped me get here.
Well, I skipped both practices. I'm hoping that pays off because I'm saving my tires. Hopefully that pays off for the race. I guess we'll see. But for now, we're kind of just waiting out the weather. And we have qualifying in 1 hour from now. And I got to go get a camera for the truck. So let me go do that. So Sean went to change his tires after practice and had a leaky seal. I got here just in time to watch you put it back together.
Where have you been? We're all dirty and
Like a blister. Show up when the work's done.
Well, I tried. I had to get my camera set up. So, you know.
Like for the YouTubers.
Yeah, it's a thing. How's the bearing in the axle?
I just,
Oh, axle's good.
it's not that bad. It's not that, you can't feel it that much. I've seen way worse.
Sweet. Hey, thanks for taking care of this for Sean.
No problem.
You the man.
yeah, it's much appreciated.
Once we pop it in there, we'll put a little grease in it.
Does
It doesn't matter.
Do I need to stay on the hill right now or I'm good?
Cool. Well, it's almost time for the driver's meeting, and then it's time to throw down in qualifying. All right, well, it's time for qualifying. I'm all built it in. And we'll see just what we can make happen here. I did not practice today. The track's a little different today than it was yesterday, so that might have not been a good thing. My tires are kind of cold, so hopefully we can be up in the top, you know, the top 5 or 6. I think I turned the fastest lap time in practice, but like I said, those guys were on track today and I have not been on track. So let's get out there and see what happens. All right, y'all, so I put it on the pole. Pretty excited about that. But there's gonna be a field invert that's 6 cars plus however many dice, like the top die on this when I throw it. So I'm gonna throw it out here so there's no chance of shenanigans. So I'm starting at least 6 plus this. Ah! Oh crap!
It's a 3.
The 3?
It's a 3.
All right. So I'm starting 9th.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Good luck tonight.
All right, so I guess I'm starting 9th. So that means whoever was starting 9th is now first to start the race. And I've got to get my way through that to get back up to the front of the field. It's only a single.
Dang it. So my right front suspension's bottoming out. Remember where you said to cut it more because it would bottom out? Well, I didn't, and it is.
So fix it.
I am. I need a cutoff wheel.
You might crank some ride height into the right front too.
I think yeah, because it's loose, so right front ride height would help that.
Yep.
So, might do
How about
both
that
of them.
17.7, baby?
God. Whew. That was, I was watching it and I saw it. I was like, holy crap. What are you cheating on this thing?
Nothing.
This needs to be
Driver mod, baby.
Yeah, that's all down there. And then, yeah, them hands full of cash, no. So he went in on the bet of lapping, right? Remember that?
Yeah, I just can't get lapped.
Yeah, so you're 100% getting lapped.
No, I'm not.
All right, so the money I'm paying
I
you,
qualified top 10.
getting lapped.
Where'd you qualify?
9th.
You're P1.
I ran what?
I rolled a 3, so you're P1. So you're starting on the
I
pole.
think I'm 5th. I think I qualified.
So you're starting like 4th, I think.
Yeah.
So
It was driver error.
really?
I wasn't throwing it into
really?
the turn hard enough.
No.
I forgot last time I was driving really deep into the turn and then tapping the brake and turning, and this time I was trying not to tap the brake, and then I didn't, went straight into a wall. And now I'm
Gotcha.
tapping the brake, and I went at 19.1, but I've been in 18.5, and 18.5 is coming back out.
Okay,
the race.
okay, we'll see.
I might even
Keep it off the wall.
18.3.
Just
That's
keep
the
it
main
off
goal.
the wall.
We had
It's
another
60
race in
laps. There's what, 28 people?
I don't even know.
Like,
28.
The biggest thing is going to be surviving and making it through lap traffic.
Yeah, we got a
Yep.
race in January, so
Yeah.
definitely need to take the
Yeah.
truck home.
Yep.
for sure.
Cool. All right, well, pretty exciting qualifying session. I got paid. I guess we'll watch the Pro Truck race, then it'll be time to go Ranger racing. All right, y'all, so I realize we are almost 28 minutes into this video, and we still have 2 races left to do. Now, looking back, I probably should have split the videos up into 2 separate videos for YouTube. But with having to jump right from the Ranger right into the Ultima, I didn't think I was going to have time. But, you know, looking back, that's probably the way I should have done it. So, the Ranger race is going to be pretty much all from this camera angle because the camera lasted the entire way through. I may post a video of the 360 camera in its entirety. I don't know, just because this takes long enough to edit as it is. And, you know, it's just the way these race videos go, because from my perspective, I want to show you guys the exciting stuff, but in watching through it and reliving the moment, it's all pretty exciting. And maybe I want to have something to look back on when I'm 90 years old in the nursing home, and I want to see how cool I was when I was a kid. Well, I guess at 44 I'm not really a kid anymore, but anyways, you know, it's exciting. And when I'm showing off in the nursing home, you know, I can show people what I used to do when I was younger. You know what? That's the story I'm going with. So, for the next 2 races, you guys are going to get some commentary from me. And, there's JH and Ricky, my boy Ricky, getting together. And that almost takes JH out of the race. Like, I don't know if he realized that the back of his truck was in the air. Like, maybe I can show him a clip of this video and show him where, you know, like, his whole race almost ended right there. And, you know, as it turns out, like maybe you already know, JH ends up winning this thing. And I got to figure out some way to get around him. And as it turns out for this race, what I feel like happened, and you can kind of see it happening, I heat up the right rear tire. So I was trying a new set of tires that we hadn't ever used before, and Eddie was on the same kind of tire, same brand, same sizes. And what the research we had done was that they were a really good autocross tire, good for short use, and we kind of proved that a little further. So we made the call to go ahead and try running them, because we thought that because the trucks were light enough that they wouldn't get the tires super hot and they would survive for longer than they did. But that was not the case. So, and it seems to me like, at least from driving the truck, that it was only the right rear
that was giving me problems. Like you'll see me have to counter steer the truck a lot of times on corner entry because the tail steps out, you know, to the right. Like whenever you see my right hand go down around the wheel, I'm right there. There's one example of it. You know, I'm catching a slide, and when you're sliding sideways, you're not going fast. And there's some sections that are coming up later in the video where I'm both behind Cletus when he's spread out, when we're spread away from traffic a little bit here. You'll see where I have to catch a slide, and it's every time that tire is really sliding and it's leaning over on the right rear, it is heating that right rear up. Whoa, look out. Whoa, you too, buddy. That was exciting. So we mentioned earlier in the video that this gray truck that's ahead of me is actually Eddie's old truck, and he hurt the motor in it at the last race, sold it as a roller because he wanted to build a standard cab truck. And the standard cab truck does seem like it has the potential to be faster, but we need to dial it in a little more. Obviously we didn't have it completely dialed in for this race, and like, you know, Eddie and I joke around a lot. Maybe I got a little bit more driver skill than he does, but you know, I also have 10 years of racing on him, and I do my best to help him during this stuff. Like we do stuff during practice, like we'll do a lead follow where he follows me for a couple of laps, and I'm watching him in the mirror to get him to follow my lines, follow when I'm lifting, braking, if we're braking, which honestly at the Circle Track here we don't brake a whole lot. And then we'll switch, and I'll let him lead when we're in practice, and then, you know, we can kind of critique each other afterwards and, you know, kind of talk about what we can do to get faster, whoever the slower one is. So, and I'm going to bounce around a lot talking here, just so you guys know, because I'm going to talk about little tech tidbits like that, but then I'm also going to react to the racing that's going on the screen. So there's Ricky, lapped Ricky, and yep, that cost him $100. We all made a bet that you saw earlier in the video that if we lapped the other person, then they would pay $100. Sean didn't get in on the bet, which, you know, if I were him, I wouldn't either, because his truck we knew wasn't going to be super fast. Like his truck had I-beam front suspension, like I showed earlier in the video, and without the ability to put right front negative camber in the car, it was never going to really handle all that great. And his truck did have lower horsepower 4-liter, which makes about 140 to 150 wheel horsepower if you got a really good one. The later model 4-liter trucks like mine, JH's, Eddie's, Ricky's, and the gray the gray truck that's Eddie's old truck. Gosh, I forgot his name now. I think it was Tom. Those all have about 190-ish horsepower if they're good, you know, fresh or, you know, not wheezer of engines. But anyways, for this stretch here, after a restart, get behind JH, and my truck did not really jump the restart like it used to, which I think a lot of it is the lead vehicle has so much of an advantage being the vehicle that starts the race. So when you're in second place, you kind of have to guess it a little bit, hope that you get it right. But you'll see I'm following in behind him here, and this is really the run where I realize that I'm cooking the right rear. So I see an opportunity. Oh, nope, we're not to that part yet. So right there, make a little move to go around that lapper on the inside, and the truck just snaps around and I'm backwards. Now, luckily for me, there's a caution for something else. And that, when there's a caution that comes out, they revert back to the previous lap for the positions to do the restart. So now we're doing the restart, and as you guys can see, I'm back into second place again. I can't say in that instance that that's the way it should have been. But, you know, they made the call on receiver, and where the track is talking to us in the earpieces, and I went back and took my position back, even though I'm kind of thinking to myself, I spun, you know, just avoiding that lap truck, and that really wasn't the reason for the caution. But in these instances, sometimes the caution benefits you and you get your position back when maybe you shouldn't have. Other times you'll be involved in a caution, or maybe not, and maybe you, like another person, gets the benefit of the caution and they end up back in front of you. And that happens, it happens at another point in the race here, where I know Eddie got a spot back where he got passed, and then he got a spot back under caution, or because of the caution. And then same thing with Tom in the gray truck. He gets a spot back when I've passed him for almost 2 complete laps. So in my eyes, it kind of balances out, you know. But I think this is the run right here where I kind of settle in behind JH, and I can tell in some areas of the lap I'm quicker than him. Like, I can usually roll the center of the corner a little bit better than him, but then when I really start to lean on, like, kind of arc out my corner entry to try and get a run to get up beside him, I feel the right rear heating up, and it's like I can get to him, but the only way I'm getting around him is if he gets held up by some traffic, and I can maybe get a run on him that way to get, you know, whoa, that's a big sideways moment right there. And I'm sure that right rear tire is just hating me right now. But anyways, like I said, like you can see, I start to reel him back in here. So, and based off of our qualifying times, and I had a lap in the race that was a little bit quicker than his. But when it comes to wheel-to-wheel racing with a car that is, or a truck that is close to your speed, you need to be a good bit faster to be able to actually make a pass on them. So, you know, at this point I've kind of realized I just need to stay close to him, try to keep my right rear tire as happy as I can keep it, so that potentially if he makes a wrong move through traffic, that I might be able to get enough of a run on him to get beside him. And then I think if I can get ahead of him, the same situation would happen to him, that because our trucks are so equal, he would not be able to pass me without, you know, me getting held up, or, you know, one of us bumping the other one out of the way. So in the truck, I see JH getting held up by some traffic, and I think this might be my shot. So, well, maybe it's not this part. I know it's somewhere right in here where, yep, this is it. So he gets held up just a little bit on corner exit. I make a move to the inside, and I'm on the yellow line, and he kind of comes down into me, but it's kind of one of those racing deals. Like, yeah, I'm not mad about it in the truck. I knew it was kind of sticking it in there, and had he seen me, maybe he would have moved up a little bit. Maybe he did see me. I don't know. But it's one of those deals where he knows if I get by him, you know, it's going to be hard for him to get back by me. So in this instance, actually, maybe I cut out the part where they sent me to the back, which they didn't send me to the back. I ended up at the back after spinning out. But I thought I had left that part in, where I had to fight back through traffic to even get back to the guys. that were leading. But maybe I cut that part out. It was kind of chaotic. And maybe that would have been something worth leaving in the video. But anyways, I guess let's get back to racing after I've made up some of the positions. And I'm looking like I'm 4th right now behind JH, Tom, and Cletus. And even following behind Cletus, you'll see it takes him making a mistake for me to get around him. There's me sliding, making mistakes. And, you know, that's just kind of the way these races go when the cars or the vehicles are really closely matched. So here's Cleat steps out a little bit, gets a little loose. I pounce on that, take advantage of it. And at this point, JH and Tom are kind of checking out. So I know that I can't get by JH unless he gets held up with traffic. And I'm kind of chipping away at the lead that Tom has on me. And we're getting down towards the end of the race. So maybe that's why I cut out that middle section. But we're getting down towards the end of the race. And I notice his truck starts to smoke a little bit more. And they had actually put head gaskets in this thing in his truck after the practice day. And I can see them two up there racing. You know, Tom got up and is on the outside of JH. And I'm thinking, you know, maybe they end up tangled up a little bit together, and that'll be how I can catch and get around them. Or, you know, maybe we're going to have another caution, and with those two racing each other hard, maybe they've used their tires up. But, you know, all these things run through my head, at least when I'm on the track. And I'm hoping that I get another chance to, you know, get up there and fight for the win. But at the same time, I know that my right rear tire is so ticked off and hot that short of it raining on the tire and cooling the tire off, I probably don't have too much of a chance of being able to make enough good laps in a row to pass the both of them. So, you know, we're winding down here towards the end of the race. Can't really see on the scoreboard as it's flying by how many there are to go. But I do end up catching Tom and passing him on the very last lap because I think his motor either ate the head gasket or had a damaged piston in it. You can see I'm really reeling him in now. So this is the last corner of the last lap. And I decide to go under that truck. He goes above, and I get to the start-finish line before him by 0.2 of a second. So that's the truck race, and I've got to make some changes, I think, for the next one. We'll see if we can do something to try and give JH a little bit more of a run for the thing. And hopefully that'll be the case. And now we're on to the chaos that is the Ultima race. And I counted back, and I started in between 76th and 79th position, depending on how you count back from the front row. And right here, when they drop the green flag, I get like 20 of them because they're counting down on the radio, and we can hear the announcers on the track. You know, the whole 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the front takes off. Well, everybody around me wasn't moving. So me and this black car, which the black car, ironically enough, is the guy who ends up winning it, Alex, he and I both dive down below the rest of the field. We're still on the asphalt, and they said in the driver's meeting that if it was asphalt, it was fair game. So I pass him back right there, and then in the melee of the getting started and everybody really getting going, he works back behind me on the outside here somewhere. You'll see the black 95 car come through, and I don't really cut out a whole lot of this race, I don't think, just because it's wild from start to finish. I mean, you can imagine that when you put 118 cars on track on a 3/8 mile oval, it's gonna be kind of wild. So for the most part, and there's the 95 peeking. He's peeking. Oh, I get held up, and I think there he goes. So at this point of the race, I have absolutely no idea what position I am in. I don't have radios in the car to talk to anybody outside of the track. Like, you guys know how Eddie is normally my spotter in the Crown Vic races. Well, we probably all need spotters for this race, but we do have the racetrack talking in our ear with a little unit called a race receiver, and it's something that we clip on to our fire suit, put in the pocket, whatever, and it's got a little earbud that you put in your ear, so the track is telling us there's a car slow in turn 1, at the up high in turn 1, car slow on the, they're telling us where the trouble spots are on the track, so that we kind of have a warning before we get there. And they're also telling us when there's a red flag. So along with the lights that you can see, like there's a green light that's on the side of the track, along with those lights, they're telling us, red flag, red flag, red flag, when there's a problem on the track that needs to stop us all. So until I hear that, I am going. So there's a lot of times where you'll see people brake or check up for a wreck or something, and I just dive bomb around them, because as long as they haven't said red flag on the radio and I don't see the red lights on the track, I'm still going. And obviously, in a race like this, you're gonna have some contact. There, somebody just bumped me on the left rear, got me a little sideways, but that's kind of just the way it goes for these things. Obviously you do your best to not run through people, but I have a few bumps with people here and there. None of them were really intentional, that I would say, but there was a couple times where I certainly missed the corner, and we're driving front wheel drive cars with really high tread wear, pretty hard tires on them, and I kind of missed the corner, end up sliding up into somebody, bumping them, but nothing that I really feel is all that egregious. I did see a message on one of my Facebook posts that I broke a guy's tie rod, and felt a little bad about that, and I think I might have known which car that was based on rewatching the video and seeing some of the contacts. There was one where we kind of banged my right front to his left front, and it was a pretty good jolt in the steering wheel, and I think maybe that's when it might have broken his tie rod. But for the most part, it's just some light little contacts. My mirror gets folded in on the driver's side, gets folded in on the passenger side, and I end up pushing it back out under caution, because it didn't break it off. It just got kind of folded back, and I was able to flip it back out and still use it to try and see people that were coming up on my inside or on my left side. For those of you wondering, inside, outside. Inside means whatever the shorter way around the corner is, and then the outside is on the long way around the corner, which on a circle track, inside is always going to be to the left, and outside is always going to be to the right. Now, when I spot for Lee in the Vipers, I'll say, on your left or on your right, for the most part. I try to say, sometimes we'll say inside and outside, but for the most part, I try to say on your left or on your right, just because obviously that registers better when you're in the driver's seat. And you might have seen that I slid up under the back of that guy and nailed him on the caution, or when the red flag came out, just because he got stopped quicker than I did. So the guys who put this car together for me, it's you know, Joe Agent and his guys at Agent Group Automotive up in Tennessee. If you guys need a car, see him, give him a call, because, you know, that's just another way to support the people that have supported me. But they put a larger tire, or I think a little bit taller tire, on the right side of the car versus the left. Like, it's one of those kind of gray areas in the rules, you know, where you can look up the stock tires that came on the different models of the Ultima, and some of them had a taller, wider tire on the right. As well, they, in factory form, they would have had them all the way around. And then some of the other cars came with maybe a skinnier, shorter tire. So they tried that, and maybe we shouldn't have, because of the right side and the left side having different wheel speeds, it freaked out the ABS system, and I never had any ABS. Ooh, that spot right there, I think if you go back and watch it, I think he comes down into me more than I move up into him. I tried to stay right on the yellow line for the most part on the bottom of the track, and I'm pretty sure that one, I know there's another one where I slide up a little bit and I get into a red car, and I would say that one was probably more me than it was him, but I think the contact with that black car was, maybe it was equal me and equal him. But anyways, I think next time and what I would suggest to anybody who's building an Ultima, I would say to leave the same size tires all the way around on it. Just because ABS is a good thing to have when you are panic stopping. Although, at some point of the race, my left rear ends up getting popped. I don't really know when, because it didn't really seem to affect the handling of the car all that much. But with that tire being flat, obviously it would have been locking up. So that would really have freaked out the ABS system. And I don't know if that would be a good thing. That's a thought. See, you guys are getting raw Kevin right here, just completely kind of unfiltered, just brain rambling, because as it sits, we've got about another 15 minutes of video to do, or 15 minutes of video to commentate. But you guys can kind of see my go-to move is to take the low line. It seemed to me like most people were happy staying up on the banked part of the track, but you didn't really need to. Maybe when you weren't getting held up from traffic, being on the banked part would have been a little bit faster, but honestly, for probably 80% of this race, you're getting held up in the corner. And, you know, like, I have no idea what position I'm in still, because I keep glancing at the scoreboard, hoping that I'm going to be one of the cars up on there, but I'm not. And I think Cleat is third right now. So I'm hoping that, and I'm thinking that, okay, well, I must be pretty close to third, because obviously I can see him right there. And I'm hoping that I'm not a lap down to them, because they did tell us that if you cross the start-finish line, but you're below, kind of like on the burnout pad a little bit, if you're below that, your lap may not get counted. And there was a couple times where I kind of got bumped down there, and I was wondering if all my laps had counted. You know, if that's what happens, and it's my fault that I go below the timing and scoring line, that's my fault. So I can't blame the track, which I heard there were some people that might have griped about that. But if you go below the line, it's not the track's fault. You just got to deal with it. So anyways, I'm trying to catch Cleat, and if nothing else, just to race with him for a little while, maybe do a little bump draft him just for some fun. But at this point in the race, my car starts, it's like it starts lowering the rev limiter, and the temperatures still showed good. A little bump there, knock my mirror in, you know, no big deal. But I noticed that it gets like 3/4 of the way down the straightaway, and it's almost like you shut the throttle. So the car just stops accelerating, and at some point I try shifting to 4th gear, and that ends up being slower. So I just leave it in 3rd gear so it kind of digs out of the corner a little bit. But the car doesn't run as fast as it could from like mid straightaway to where I would be lifting to turn into the corner. So I don't have the in-car footage of when it got really bad, but for the last like probably 10 laps of the race, it would get to like 5,500 and basically just shut off. And it was not fun, which you'll see in some of the outside footage that's coming later in the video. The car is not anywhere near the fastest car on the track anymore. Like, there's cars that are just freight training me on the straightaways, and then I kind of make up some ground on them in the corners, maybe pass them a little bit, and then they accelerate away on the straightaway, and then I reel them in the corner and kind of play this yo-yo game with the car being down on power. I think I could have gotten to the leader, you know, if the car was 100%, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. Who knows what really would have happened if it had gone out. I might have ended up in the middle of a wreck if I had more power. Don't know. So here's a guy sneaking by me here, which he actually got me on corner entry, but you can see him just run away on the straightaway. And that's, well, now we got a red flag again. But I think we're coming up to the point where, well, no, we got a few more minutes before Victor's wreck. But I was pretty near that happening. So you kind of see the aftermath as I come through it. And yeah, I split that one guy that was stopped. I split him low because I saw that lower lane was open. And if it's clean asphalt and I'm going fast and I'm going to get held up somewhere else, I'm taking the clean asphalt. And then it's kind of neat how these races, they kind of spread out, but then you get clumped up again and it's just sheer chaos for a few minutes or for a few laps. And I mean, that's just kind of part of these things. And you know, the racer in me thinks it was maybe a few too many cars, but at the same time it was really, really wild, and hopefully it was entertaining. You know, they had talked about leaving more cars on track that broke down or crashed, and that certainly would have thrown another wrench into the race. But you know, maybe it would have been okay. You know, it's part of that's part of, you know, like obstacle avoidance when it comes to these kind of enduro style races, because there's some enduros that I've seen, like the crashed car could be on fire and they'll stop the race, put the fire out, get the driver out, and leave the car there. And I mean, it's just a smoldering heap on the side of the racetrack. So if they leave something like that there, they're leaving every single car on the racetrack that has crashed or broken down. And it makes for really wild, like, racing for the win, because in some places the track is only one lane, so everybody has to be nose to tail when they go through those tight spots. You know, maybe that's where this thing ends up going. Who knows? But it was a heck of a lot of fun out there racing. And in the moment, you know, I was kind of thinking I might not do the next one. But then the more I think about it, I'm kind of like, yeah, that was a lot of fun. So it's definitely a lot of thinking. So, you know, as you're coming up on a car, and I kind of drive like this on the freeway too, but I'm thinking about all the possibilities that the other cars may do. And I kind of ran that red flag a little long right there, not going to lie. I saw the red flag on the wall in the video, but maybe they were late to call it on the receivers. But I can say that it was certainly not my intention to, you know, not heed the red flags. But, you know, it may look like that occasionally, because it even looked like that to me just watching the video back there in that one spot. I do know that I always tried to get to the bottom of the racetrack whenever they would throw a red, whether that was just to give room for the, you know, the emergency vehicles to come through if they needed to, or as it turns out for Victor's wreck, I went to the bottom of the track, kind of right behind Cletus, and they pulled us all forward while they were driving the forklift up there onto the track to pick up the crashed cars. And, you know, that's just, well, that wasn't the move, or that wasn't the right move for that particular wreck. So, you know, looking back, maybe we'd do things a little differently, but it's, you can kind of see, like, there's definitely spots of the race, and especially as the car's kind of losing its top end a little bit, that I've got to really hustle the car through the middle of the corner and maybe be a little more aggressive to stick my nose in down there on the bottom of the track. And like right there, for example, I was stuck my nose in, and I was in the lane, and I saw him coming down. Well, he can bounce right off of me and keep on going. No harm, no foul for the both of us. And I kind of think that the only time that you really risk, you know, hurting your car or a competitor's car is like bonking wheel to wheel. And that's kind of my theory, at least when it comes to like damaging suspension stuff. But I should probably go back and watch every single lap and count how many cars that I actually passed, because I mean, I started 70 something, 76, 79, depending on how you count it, and I end up second. So there's at least 70 cars that I passed for position. How many cars did I pass because I was lapping them? I looked at the scoring, which if you guys don't have it, there's an app called Race Monitor, and you can download that app and you can watch a lot of the live timing for these races. So you can kind of see if you've got a friend racing in it or you're racing in it yourself. Obviously you can't see where you're at during the race. Ooh, maybe that's an idea. Maybe I put my phone on a suction cup or a hard mount somewhere, and I can have it on Race Monitor to watch the position during the race. Kind of a risk for my phone, not gonna lie, because, you know, there's a lot of crashing involved and bonking and stuff. So maybe that's not the best idea. But anyways, you guys can use this app and watch live timing on it, so you can see the actual lap times that we're all doing, and as well as, you know, just like keeping up with different things to see how people are doing, whether that's, like I said, whether that's your friends or just your favorite driver or whoever you want to watch. And there's a paid version that, well, I think both versions might be paid, but there's a pro version where you can actually click on an individual racer and look at his position through the race as well as their lap times for the whole race. So that's kind of a neat feature. We use that in the professional ranks, you know, with Trans Am and other series. Whenever we go racing, we'll use that to gauge our performance over a longer run, or, you know, something like that. So, but that's a super handy app that maybe you guys want to pick up on and use. And I think we're getting I saw, yeah, so now we've got the outside camera as well as the inside camera going. And this is some footage that my girlfriend took, so she did a really good job with filming and keeping me in the shot. And it's got to be tough holding up even a phone for this long, making, as the car's going around, your arms get tired. I know, because when I'm filming in the shop and I'm holding the camera up for 10, 15 minutes, you kind of feel it weighing on your arm, and just that exercise of holding your arm up for a long, long period of time. It's just something I noticed. Anyway, so somewhere in here is going to be Victor's accident, because I know it happens while I've got both cameras up here. And there's another spot, I think it's before his wreck, where I end up diving down through the grass because there's a wreck and plenty of people stop. And the only way to miss it is to dive down low and avoid it in the grass. Actually, I think this is it right here. Yep. Whoop, turning left, going around it, back up on the track. Didn't hit anybody, all good. But it's just quick reflexes like that I think maybe help protect the car, hopefully. But at any point of these races, you might end up in a mess, as Victor found out, because he was leading the race. Got in the wrong place at the wrong time and ended up destroying a really, really fast car, and thankfully he didn't get hurt, because that looked like a pretty good shot from the different videos I've seen of it. I mean, it's coming up, I think, not too long from now. Actually, is that it right there? Yep, that's it right there. And so they call a red flag. We all dive down to get out of the way. And then I cut out the big, long red flag here. And you can see I'm at a different point of the track because they pulled us out of the way. And then as it turns out, that takes out two of the cars that are ahead of me, because Cletus ends up having a hole in his radiator, probably from the front bumper getting ripped off and the debris being able to hit the radiator. And he also had a tire that was starting to cord, which he could have got that fixed. I think that's what he went out to do, was to get the tire fixed. And then his radiator started leaking. So I think at this point I'm in second place, because the 95 is still leading, and he was not in the wreck, obviously. And I think at this point he's about a half a lap ahead of me. So with him being that far ahead of me, I've got a pretty good idea, with the car kind of being in limp mode, that I don't have that great of a chance of catching him, with the exception of maybe him getting caught up in a wreck. Or, I guess if he popped a tire, then that I might be able to get around him then, like if he popped his right front tire, which that was maybe a little bit of my hope, because I do notice from, my eyes are a little bit higher in the car, but there was quite a few people that I noticed were starting to spark their right front tire, because they chewed off the tread on the very outside corner. And basically the next thing that happens is, once you cord a tire and it goes to steel, if you keep driving it the same way, it's going to pop that tire. So there was a little bit of hope in me that maybe that would happen to the guy leading, but he did a good enough job driving that he didn't wear out his right front tire to the point of it letting all the air out of it and allowing me to catch him. There's another dive through the grass. But he did a really good job starting back there where I did, worked his way to the front, had himself a good car, and I expect that we'll see him back at the one in January. Oh, yep, there's the red car accident that I mentioned earlier that I thought was maybe maybe a little bit more my fault on that one. I don't think he ended up getting hurt too bad, just a little bump sideways, and then where it was able to keep going. But, you know, there's not a whole lot I can keep saying about this thing, that it's an absolute blast. And obviously it must have been something that enough people wanted to see that it was a sold out show, and the racer in me really thinks that's awesome, that we can fill the stands by going out and racing fairly cheap cars. I mean, I would think you could find even one of the good cars for $3,000 or $4,000 if you really keep your eye out for them. You'll have to do some work and, you know, put a fresh set of tires on it, and then if you want to be safer, like we did in my car, they put a nice containment seat in the car to keep me safe. But that's something that, you know, you can put in the car, and then you can take it out and put it in another car if you decide to quit racing Ultimas. But we're down to the point of only having the outside camera because my GoPro has died. But I think there might be a video coming from the Agent Auto Group, because they had a camera in the car that it had a really big external battery pack on it. And the guy that was helping them film does some filming for Whistling Diesel. So he's, like, I've only met him at the Altima race, and he seemed like he really knew what he was doing, way more than I do when it comes to setting up cameras in the car. And actually, I just saw sparks out of that car that's ahead of me right now, like I was trying to describe to you guys that I could see in the car. But like when he first sets the car in the corner, I wonder if it'll do it again on this lap. So when he first sets the car in the corner, it sparked off of the right front tire. Nope, didn't see it that lap. But that's something that I could see different cars doing from the driver's seat that may not be as obvious from the the camera up here in the stands. And it did definitely feel like a long race in the car. I mean, in the Ranger race, we were counting the laps under caution, so you kind of got a break while you were still rolling around, and that was cutting into the overall length of the race where you weren't driving the thing, you know, right on the edge. Well, that's not the way it was with this thing. It was wide open all the time. And I think that might have been the finish. Somewhere right in there. I know we're getting close. Nope, just kidding. We got a few more laps to go. And for those of you that have made it this far, you guys are awesome. I'm an hour and 14 minutes into this. And for you guys to still be watching this deep into the video, whether you just like the racing or you really like the channel and, you know, you support us, maybe you buy some merch, maybe you're a channel member, any of you guys that are that involved with the channel, I can't thank you enough for being a part of this journey with us and, you know, obviously helping us to keep it going. Because if you're watching this video, if you're watching this far into the video, you're definitely one of the fans that we absolutely love to have. Now, granted, we love all of our fans, but those of you that are super hardcore and, you know, watch all the videos and comment and like and share and all that stuff that helps spread the word about the channel and keep the channel growing, like that's the real heroes to the channel. But I thought we were almost to the end, and I can see the end of the video in the timeline on my laptop, and it's just taking it a little while to get there. And there definitely was quite a few people that popped their right front tires here late in the race. A few of them you'll see drift up the track, and then they're going slow around the outside by the wall. There was a few of those cars that I passed later in the race because I guess they figured just driving around slow around the outside, they were at least maybe going to be able to finish the race. And I guess it ended up working out for him. I saw on some other, saw some people commenting online that they were one of the people that popped their right front tire. And a lot of that comes down, like if you pop your right front tire, a lot of that comes down to how you're steering the car, because the car will turn a little bit when the front tires are sliding sideways. It's called slip angle. Like in the racing world, the tire is not pointed actually in the direction that it's going. So there's a percentage of slip angle that you can do with the tire where it's faster. Like it's, depending on the tire, it might be 5%. So if the front tires are turned, say 10 degrees to the left, you may only be turning the car 5 degrees to the left because the tire is slipping a little bit. So there's a percentage of slip that's faster, but just beyond that percentage of slip is where you're destroying the tire, or you're grinding the tire because you're sliding it too much, and it's literally just the roughness of the track is just grinding the rubber off the tire until you get to the point where there's no rubber left, and then you get into the steel belts of the tire, which is why the tires were sparking, and then you get into letting the air out of the tire. So, whoop, avoid one last wreck right on the coming into the last lap here, and you can see the car now is just really not accelerating well on the straightaways, but thankfully we're almost done.
Want to go. Second place. Second place. He got second place in both races. Hey. It's the end of the night. I'm a man of my word, okay? I talked the talk and I didn't walk the walk. That's 20. That's 40.
That's right.
And you got
That's
a 10. Right. So, you can have half a 20.
What the heck?
Half a 20 is 10, right? Half a 20 is 10. So that's what you get.
That's not gonna work.
All right, I'm going home.
You just committed a felony.
I'll see you Monday at work. Man.
Oh, okay. Okay. What the heck? All right, so a pair of seconds tonight. Wow, look at this. That's one way to get your car back to the pits, I guess. Pass that off to you. And I'm whooped. So we're gonna see if we can get back. Probably go get some food somewhere. Oh, get paid. I gotta go turn in my transponder and receiver. You take your receiver back? And
I took all my stuff back.
We're gonna get paid. The old 78's in pretty good shape. So the left rear went flat at some point. Don't know when, it was just along for the ride anyway. Left rears don't do a whole lot on a front wheel drive circle track car. But she doesn't look too bad. A little bit of polish, a little bit of
Just a new wrap.
Oh shoot. It looks like it's just weathered a little bit with the fenders a little hurt.
It's not bad, man.
No. Hey, huge thanks for getting this thing done for me.
Oh, you're welcome.
That was, here, let's get that one. That was a heck of a lot of fun. And tell you what, I'm ready to go take a nap. Which, it'll be more than a nap because it's late at night. But appreciate all you guys watching, subscribing, following along. We had a blast. You guys should get to one of these or build a car and come race with us. See you in the next one.